set for a certain time, and then it just froze, and everything was blue and glitched out. So all of my links are leading back to that last post, and somehow you have managed to make it to my live stream. So I'm just going to carry on here. I'm Tony D of absoluteability.com. You might be one of my readers. You might be from some of my social media. But thanks for popping in. I'll just wait a little bit before we get started here. So I've been reading this book about Steve Jobs, his biography. And I can say it's probably one of the most inspirational books that I've ever read. It's really great. What I really learned from this is that whenever you try to succeed at something in life, whenever you try to create something new, there are always going to be people that tell you that you're wrong. People are constantly arguing with Steve Jobs during the course of this story, telling him, we can't do that, that's unreasonable, you'll never succeed. And Steve Jobs just tells them they're all idiots. Everyone's an idiot, and almost every design that people submit to him sucks. In the long run, he ended up creating some of the greatest electronic products that the world has ever known. So that's a big fuck you to all the people that denied his power and his wisdom. I really respect that, because I deal with this all the time as a coach, as a writer, as a blogger. People telling me that I can't do what I'm doing, or I'm doing it wrong, or with business and all my passions, they people are always trying to give me advice. And Kanye West has a really great piece of advice in one of his songs. I don't take advice from people less successful than me. Yeah. So you're probably here because you want to hear the title of this webinar, which is 10 Tricks to Make Her Want You Really Bad. Yeah, it's a little bit clickbaity, but that's what works. That's what works to get you guys to come and hang out with me. So, I feel so bad because there's probably all these people trying to get into the stream and they can't because the link is wrong. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but what can you do? It's my first try, so next time I'll have some kind of fail-safe there so that doesn't happen again. So I just got back from a trip to Asia, and I went to Thailand and Malaysia, and I met so many women on this trip. I'm so glad that I took the years necessary to learn how to approach women, to have the skill to cold approach, because it makes traveling so much more fun when you can just see an amazing woman and just walk up to her calmly, make a great first impression. Even in Vancouver, I can go anywhere. I can go to the beach. I can go to the coffee shop and meet sexy women anytime I want. Now, does that mean I'm going to get dates? I'm going to get laid? I'm going to get a girlfriend? No, absolutely not. Just knowing how to approach a woman is not nearly enough to usually convince her that you are a sex-worthy guy. What it does do is it shows a higher level of confidence than your average guy, which is what cold approaching is really good for. One, for getting more leads, because all pickup is sales. It's just about getting in front of as many buyers as possible. So if you can't cold approach, you got to remedy that first. That's an issue. Luckily, there's lots of resources out there for learning how to cold approach. But how do you get her to chase you, to want you so badly? Now, I'm not going to go in depth into things like you should have good fashion and grooming. Okay, if you look clean and you look like a sex-worthy guy, then you're going to have a much higher chance of getting that text back from the ladies. You'd be surprised how many guys show up to my boot camps looking like slobs, like nerds, and I have to take them shopping. So this is common sense stuff. The stuff I'm going to get into in this webinar is a little bit more complex, a little bit more deep, and it's not for guys who don't know what to say exactly or they have approach anxiety. This is advanced stuff. But everything I'm talking about in this webinar has been proven and used and taught by my forefathers, the great dating coaches of old, like Mystery and Style and Juggler and some of these classic guys. Okay, so how do you get a girl from the meetup to actually be thinking about you in her spare time, to be talking about you, to be fantasizing about you when she touches herself late at night or whatever chicks do when they're lonely? I think they talk on the phone to other girls. Okay, so there are so many ways to do this, but number one, the number one thing you should be thinking about in your mind is what value. It didn't let me respond without creating a channel. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I don't know. I'm probably losing like 100 viewers, but I'll post the replay. Thanks for letting me know. It just glitched out as soon as I launched it. Okay, so but for those of you that are here, enjoy the show. Stay as long as you can. So the number one thing is value, and so you hear this term getting tossed around the community a lot, like offer value, and it's kind of nebulous. It's hard to understand what that really means, and it means many things on many different levels. But for this instance, value is what is it that you can offer her that other people can't. Okay, so the classic technique that guys without game use is money and resources. And this goes back to the caveman days. If you could kill the bear and you've got a little army behind you of loyal followers that can protect her, then you offer a lot of value. She has a lot of reason to want to date you. Most guys that are coming across something like a pickup blog, they're probably not wealthy or famous or have some access to amazing resources, but they have other things that they can offer. So you want to look at your lifestyle. A lot of guys don't want to hear lifestyle advice, and I'm not going to go too deep into this because, imagine if you had a band. I used to be a musician. I played in rock bands. Now, any girl that dated me knew that every weekend she was going to be able to go to my show. She was going to be able to hang out, watch the band, see the music, and if she aligned with me, she would be perceived as a high value person in that scene. So maybe you're a stand-up comedian, maybe you do spoken word or anything that gets you on stage. This is giving a tremendous amount of social value. Okay, so you've got monetary value, social value. Another thing guys give value with is their looks. So maybe you're a really tall guy or you know a really tall guy and he's really good looking and women just seem to like the way he looks. Chances are you're an average Joe with higher than usual intelligence. Those are the kind of guys that come to my blog. They're high level intelligence, low social status. So how do you become someone who's perceived as having high value? That's the trick, and that's what almost all pickup arts are, is coming off as higher value. So this is why you need to learn game. This is why you need to learn how to express and articulate your thoughts. Like I'm giving value to you guys just by sharing my time, and you're giving value to me just by hanging out. Now, this doesn't make me want to bang you or anything, but for a girl, imagine you had a YouTube channel that was talking about spirituality or yoga or how to make money online, or maybe you have a cool car that you can take her places. You really want to evaluate what it is in your lifestyle that can give value. Now, the easiest value for someone like me to give is knowledge. I've been doing self-help for 10 years. I know about chakras. I know about meditation. I know about self-improvement. I read lots and lots of books all the time. So I can pretty much talk on any single subject you can imagine that a girl might be into, the kind of girls I like. So say I met a really great girl at the beach one day because she had a tattoo here of a Mandela. And I opened her with, "Is that a Mandela?" And she said, "Yes, it is." And I said, well, the really amazing thing about Mandelas are all the mathematical equations that are trapped within this geometrical shape that goes back beyond the ages of known writing. And this hooked her like really hard. Oh my God, yeah. So common interests. If you know something that she might be interested in, you're an expert in that, you can give so much value. Now, what you want to do in these conversational threads, you might know something that she doesn't, is you want to leave, this is another option of the 10. Number 2 is an open loop. So an open loop is when you don't finish the class. You leave a what if, a hook at the end of the sentence. So I might say something like, you know what, that Mandela really tells me something about you. but I'm going to save that for another time. Why? Why? What do you mean? So you can really hook people. Like if I was going to talk to one of you guys on the phone, say I wanted to sell you some phone coaching. This is a sales technique called an open loop. I might say, I'll listen to your story. You'll tell me about your pain. You'll tell me about how maybe you're struggling with approach anxiety or what to say or something. And maybe you'll talk a bit about your childhood. And I might say as a salesman, you know what? This tells me a lot about you. I could really help you out right now. Unfortunately, I don't have the time. I have another meeting. But let's talk about this later. Now, you're going to be much more inclined to want to get back in touch with me and discuss this. So with women, you can use this exact same technique. But you have to be knowledgeable in a lot of different subjects that women, the kind of women you're into, are interested in. If you're going out to bars and clubs and nightclubs and stuff, you should know about DJs. You should know about EDM music. And excuse me if the audio is not good. I'm just running off my Mac here, and there's some issues with audio. So let me know in the chat how it sounds. So say you're going out to do day game at the beach. Likely there are going to be a lot of foreigners, a lot of girls from like tourists. Like in Vancouver here, we got Mexicans and Brazilians and Russians. Now, I've traveled quite a bit, and I know about a lot of their cultures. I know about their scenes. So what I can help them with is what I know about the local scene, what I know about. Awesome. Thanks, bro. So I know about the local scene. I know where everything is. I can offer this value. Okay. So I can say, I know where the best parks are. I know where the best bars are. And I'll say, oh, you're into salsa dancing? I know the absolute best salsa bar in town. Now, this is where I might do the third option of all these together are going to make her crazy for you. Trust me. The third option, which is the takeaway. Okay. So I'm going to, or push, this can be push, pull, takeaway, open loop. It's all tied together. I'm going to say, I know the absolute best bar. I just can't remember it right now. I just can't remember the name. How about I text you when I get home? Or we can talk on the phone and I'll tell you. So if it's the best band, the best bar, the best food, the best knowledge, I know the perfect book for you about meditation or about sex or about whatever. But you don't give her everything. You leave that want for the information. And this is something you have to be conscious of. You don't want to give it all away. That's why Mystery called his method the mystery method, not the give her everything method. And a lot of guys really, really fuck this up because they want to become really great at talking, blah, 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 blah. And that's really good, but they end up giving away all their information. They give away all their power. They give the girl too much of themselves. And then she doesn't have anything left to grasp for. Right now, she goes home thinking, well, he was an interesting guy, but I'm not really that attracted to him. But they did tell me about that amazing book or that amazing TV show or that information on the best club night. I wonder what that was. So you want her going home thinking there's something more she can get from you. She might just be attracted and think you're hot, right? So the value there is that she thinks you're hot and she wants to ride on top of your throbbing unit. She just thought you were funny. That's the ideal situation, but this is for those guys that are kind of struggling to get the girl to think about them. Okay. Social proof. This all adds up to another concept called social proof. Probably the absolute most powerful way to get a woman thinking about you 24 hours a day, all the time. Social proof. What is social proof? Social proof is the concept that the majority dictates the thoughts and actions of the individual. So say you are a very, very famous YouTuber with hundreds of thousands of subscribers and you just happen to teach yoga lessons, for example. Now, when you put out a video and you get like 600 likes in an hour on that video, women coming onto that page are going to look and go, wow, this guy's really popular. I bet you he's a very valuable guy. I would like to meet him to get access to his information. I also think he's hot. So most dudes are learning day game and they don't have a million subscribers on YouTube. So how can you simulate this sort of social proof? Well, in a bar, it's really easy. And you can do what I call a feeding frenzy. And this will get women thinking about you, trust me. Maybe not always in the most positive way either, but to create a social circle feeding frenzy, what you need to do is open girls, okay? So you go to a bar, a party or something, and you have to be good at opening. You have to have some good game. You can't be a rookie at this, right? Or it's going to be negative social proof. But you might see a girl, you open her and you hook. Okay, so hook just means she's staying and she's talking to you. Most guys, they zero in their night game so hard on this one girl that they forget that they're being viewed by an audience. Inside of a bar, women are hyper tuned to look at like who's the valuable guy in the room. Usually it's the bartender or the bouncer or something like this. So the tall guy, but there's another guy that's demanding a lot of attention in a room, and that's the guy who's talking to all the women, who seems to be the leader of men, who has groups congregating around him. I used to do this when I would go to a bar. I just did it like a couple of weeks ago with a student showing off. So I walk into this bar, I see a couple Asian girls standing, they're hot, standing near a table. So I walk up to them, I open, and it hooks. Then I look over after I'm talking to them for a bit at another group of girls. I go over, I excuse myself, and I start talking to them. As soon as I hook them, I tell the second group, you have to meet my friends. And I bring them together so the girls meet each other. Now, you can do this ad infinitum and bring in as many girls and guys together as you want into the group. And all you need is for one of those women to show you attraction. Maybe she asks your name. Where are you from? Or she starts playing with her hair and she touches you or something like that. But women are so in tune with the value of a man when it's being displayed by a woman that they can pick it up a lot easier than a guy can. I've trained myself for years to recognize it, but most guys, they're oblivious to this. Once you got the one girl giving you the attention, you'll see this start to spread like ripples in a pond. The other women will start thinking, well, why is he so special that this girl likes him? How come he's not paying attention to me? And this is all classic mystery method. If you really want to know more about how to create feeding frenzies and social proof, read the mystery method. People make fun of it, but it's actually incredibly powerful stuff. So you can do that in a bar. You can build up all this social proof. And when you get women actually competing for you and fighting over you, it's really a sight to behold. Your biggest problem can be, which girl do you choose? Which one do you focus on? And a lot of guys can't handle this because they don't like the negative feelings that they're being bombarded with, like jealousy. It's sort of a negative feeling to be like, well, I'm letting this girl down if I focus on her. These are quality problems that you only get when you're doing bar pickup. Okay, so social proof, open loops, value, unavailability. Being unavailable is incredibly powerful to get women just obsessing over you. And I usually do this not on purpose. I don't do this as a tactic. I'm actually a really busy dude. Like I'm working on my business all the time and whatnot. But say you get a girl's number from Day Game, which is what I think the majority of guys who like my content, they're into meeting women in the daytime. So you get this girl's number and you're texting her and she's maybe not really giving you you're trying to set up a date. She's like talking to you, but she's not committing to meeting you. She's just having fun texting with you. So one thing I'll do is I'll actually reject the girl. So I met this really hot little Russian girl downtown a month ago or something, and she was only 19 years old. And when I found out she was 19, I was a bit hesitant just because she's young. And she really wanted me to move in with her. She asked me to move in. She's like, will you move in with me? I want to be your girlfriend. I cook and I clean. And she was selling herself. She was qualifying herself to me a lot. And I stopped, and because, most guys, when they have a beautiful young woman saying, I want to be your girlfriend, like move in with me, most guys will jump on that because who knows how long it's going to be before this ever happens again. But I'm not that guy. And I told her, I said, I'm not that kind of guy. I just met you. I don't know you that well. I'd rather get to know you first. And also you're quite young. So let's just take it slow. I'm not really sure about you. This blew her mind, right? She was like, what? And after that, she really started chasing me. She really started pursuing me on social media, sending me texts like, I really want to see you again. Do you really think I'm too young? Stuff like this. So most older guys get shit tests where women will say, well, you're too old for me. But really, like, it's kind of silly because the older I get, I don't know, it seems like the more attractive I get to women. And I can have young women, I can have older women. It doesn't matter. But the trick is getting them to chase you. So the takeaway, the unavailability is really powerful. There's so many ways to implement this, but a lot of guys are afraid to be unavailable because they feel like if they are unavailable, they'll miss their opportunity. Right now, if the girl's giving you super green lights, like, I want to see you so badly right now, I would say just take it. This is more for girls who are giving you sort of meh, like a meh kind of energy. They're not quite sure. They're on the fence. This is when they're playing a little bit hard to get. This is when you want to start, in a way, disqualifying yourself by saying, like, you can intentionally flake on a date, which I don't do very often, but it's very powerful. Hey, Ramdi, how you doing, bro? Good to see you. But you can intentionally flake on dates. So say you're set up to meet someone at 6 p.m., but you can feel that they're not committed, like they might flake. And you can preemptively flake by just saying, actually, something came up. I'm really sorry. We'll have to do this another day. Now, quite often for a hot girl, especially with really hot girls, this will blow their mind because no guys ever do that. Most guys will drive. I actually know guys who've driven across the country to go meet a hot girl. They've flown to other countries to go meet a hot girl. And surprise, surprise, when they show up, the girl doesn't want to see them. Why? Because he's shown that he's willing to spend $1,000 to fly across the country to go see this one girl. And all the Disney movies have told us that this is what women want. They want to see the guy swim across the ocean. But actually, it's kind of creepy. It's kind of weird. It's like, why would this guy, if he's so cool and attractive, put me on the pedestal so high? So when you actually tell a girl, I can't make our date because I'm busy, it actually raises your value a lot, because how many times has a girl told you she's busy and you got very emotional? Oh, how dare she? Or you get depressed. Well, imagine that feeling in a girl and how that could be to your advantage. As Machiavellian as that sounds. Read this book, man. Like, you'll learn so much from this Steve Jobs book, from the biography about scarcity, making yourself unavailable. One of the reasons that all of his products from Apple became so popular was because he made them exclusive. If you want an Apple product, you have to use Apple. You can't get them on IBM. If you want the girls to know that if they want your product, and all pickup is sales, they've got to get access to you. Okay, but you've got all these guardians and barriers in front of you, keeping them from just accessing all your information, all your knowledge, all your friends, your money, your resources, your cool stuff you got going on in your life. Maybe you're a total nerd and you don't have anything going on. You just jerk off to Chatterbait and play video games. Okay, you better change that. But you can at least fake it, right? And the best way to fake it is to actually become it, to actually become cool. And this might sound like a pickup cliche. Are you guys taking notes? Because I'm going through this really fast. It's hard enough to get people to come to the live streams, never mind just talk nonstop without a script. Okay, so what have we gone over? We've gone over value. You give them some kind of value, open loops, and then you stop the value before you've given them all the information. Wherever that bar is, or that party, or that knowledge about something that they're interested in, you don't give it to them, all of it. Yeah. Okay, so value, again, is self-explanatory, but it's you giving something, whether that's access to your boat and the parties you have on your boat, which is always going to bring you a shitload of girls if you have a boat. Or it might just be a cool song that you wrote or something, but you got to have that. But then you make it unavailable. Okay, so social proof. If you have any way to get yourself on stage or in front of people, That's powerful stuff. Like, just actually my business alone in a funny way is social proof. Like, if I put this video online and the girls watch it and they're not totally triggered and offended, a lot of women see this as being really cool, because I'm a guy who's helping people on, like, random thousands of people on the internet. You know, I've got videos with like 11,000 views, and when women see that, they look at me differently, because, oh, this is a guy who's doing something with his life. You got to have something. Okay. Push pull. If this is a technique, okay, this is an old school pickup technique that it seems like most guys really suck at. If you go back to mystery, it's as simple as saying, we're too similar, we'd never get along. A push pull is really, in a way of making a commonality and then disqualifying yourself. There's a billion and one ways. If you have an example of a good push pull line that you know, write it in the comments, please. And guys, don't forget to give this a like. Google and YouTube like those thumbs ups, and subscribe to my channel, please. Yeah, so a push pull example. It's really hard to fake a push pull, because you can read all of this material and go out there with the memorized lines, but then you're running your game on the girl, talking, trying to be funny, and she's not giving you anything. She's just like, oh, haha, yeah. Then guys come to me and they go, oh, I don't know what to say. Okay, you need to find a girl that wants to play the game with you. That's, you know, when you toss her the frisbee, she tosses it back. She doesn't just watch it fall at her feet. So you do have to have good game to make this happen. But an example of good push-pull that's going to make her really crazy about you, it's going to be something along the lines of Mystery Method's line. I think we have a lot in common, but too bad you're just not my type. There's a million ways you can do this, and the key is qualification. You want to get her qualifying herself to you. In order to do that, you have to get her sharing information, and that's where it ties into deep rapport. So these are actually all the steps. I'm just listing them out, but trust me, they all tie together in the end. Okay, so deep rapport. Most guys in day game especially, their conversations sound like this. Oh, hi. How are you? None of your business. That's usually what the girls are thinking, but they'll say, well, I'm fine, because you're taking value right off the opener. How are you? Then they'll say, guys will go, what do you do? And she'll say, maybe I'm a student. And then they'll go, oh, what are you studying? And she'll say, I'm studying marketing. The most common reply most guys give is, oh, cool. Anyway, where are you going? And they completely skip this opportunity to go deeper into the conversation, to find out what her personal values are, to build like a real rapport. Because without rapport, you can't break rapport. And then you can't do push-pull. You can't tease. You can't have fun. So the magic question is, and you should all write this down, is why does she enjoy this? Why does she hate this? Why? W-H-Y. Why did you take marketing? Why do you work at Lululemon? Why do you like to travel to foreign countries? Why do you wear so much makeup? Whatever, maybe not the last one. But what that's going to do is open up her ability to express her values to you, her values. I like to study marketing because I'm ambitious and I really want to run my own company one day. Oh yeah, what kind of company? I want to make organic food for horses, for example. Now inside just that little bit of information, I can make fun of her. I can bond and build rapport with her. I can do lots of things where I can get myself inside of her mind and show her how I can benefit her life. Or I can just make her laugh, which is giving value. So another example that's really common is, where do you work? She might say, I work in a law office. Most guys are going to go, oh, cool. Can you be my lawyer? Right? Just taking value. Now, personally, I don't know a lot about law, but I do know a lot about psychology, right? So I might say something like, I bet you that you just know all the psychological tricks to get people to bend to your will and do whatever you want. Are you a dominatrix on the side? Oh no, we can't be friends. I can't be friends with crazy girls who are just dominatrix control freaks. right? This is a push-pull. What I'm doing is I'm disqualifying myself a little bit. And men never do this. They never seem to do it. Or they overdo it and they become like the goofy pickup guy who's just joke, 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 joke. You have to find the balance. Is this all making sense to you guys? Am I going too fast? If you have any questions, drop them in there. I'm almost done. I think I've almost gone through all of them. I'm really winging it here. Unavailability, future projections. And the most powerful one is last, actually. The one that's actually going to have her masturbating when she gets home, which they do. A lot of women. They don't like to talk about it for some reason, but they do. Future projection. So this is how you put yourself into a vision of what her life looks like in the future. So she might say she's really into hiking, or you're talking about hiking, and you could say something along the lines of, I just imagine what it would be like if you and I went hiking out into the forest. Wait, you're not going to eat me, are you? You're not a cannibal? Okay, good. So imagine we go hiking into the forest and we get a little bit lost. Now, are you the kind of girl that's going to take charge, chop the tree down, build the fire, build the shelter? You're just going to rely on me because I'm a bit of a city boy and you might have to save my life. But still, I would like to go hiking. I love hiking. What are you doing on Saturday? So what you're doing is you're actually putting an image of you and her in not just a situation, whether that's dancing or hiking or having a coffee, but you're creating a little bit of drama. You're making it fun and playful. And you're saying there's a possibility we could do this. And then at the same time, you could do a takeaway and go, actually, I don't know if I want to go hiking with you. I don't know if you could handle it. Right? So this is going to get her to qualify herself, which is like number 8 on my list of 10 things that my handwriting's terrible and it's probably looking backwards, but you guys can take a screenshot if you need that. And I'll post that in the comments below later. So, yeah, qualification. If you don't have women qualifying themselves to you, they're probably not going to be thinking about you when you're not around. The simple example is, do you cook? Right? And a girl's going to say, yeah, I cook. Okay, good. You can run with that and build rapport. But if she says, well, I don't like to cook. Oh, really? That's too bad because I'm not into people who can't cook. Oh, actually, if she's into you at all, if there's the slightest bit of attraction, you use this technique of qualification, she's probably going to say, well, actually, I'm pretty good at making a sandwich, or I'm willing to learn if you're going to teach me. You can do the same thing for dancing, traveling, just watching movies. Do you like movies? Oh, what's your favorite movie? I like Gone with the Wind. I don't know anyone under 90 years old who likes Gone with the Wind. It's the first thing that came to my mind. But you might say, oh, you like romance movies. I need someone who's into comedies to be in my life. Sorry. These break rapports, they always make girls laugh. Once in a while, you'll get a girl that's really confident and she'll just say, yeah, okay. Okay, so those kind of girls are called no girls, right? You want the maybe and yes girls. But you do something where you make her jump through your hoop and say, no, I do cook actually, or yeah, I love to dance, or I actually am a very tidy person, or oh no, I'm really fun. I'm not too serious. I'm not a control freak. You want her expressing herself. And that's when you judge her a little bit. You do a little bit of judgment. You go, oh, well, we'll see if we hang out again. You're kind of cute. Maybe we'll hang out again. And this is going to make her start to see that you're a challenge and want to chase you a bit more than just being this available, fun, nice guy, which often guys, like, I'm giving you all these tricks, but you can just genuinely be yourself if you have a lot of experience with women. Like, I don't actually consciously think of all these things when I'm doing my approaches. That's just kind of part of my personality. When I do a future projection or qualify the girl, I'm looking at my list, or do deep rapport, this is actually me being myself. I'm actually screening to see, even though she's hot, if she's going to be a nut job or if she's not into self-improvement at all. Like a lot of girls are like, I don't read books, and then my boner just goes limp because I don't care how hot she is, I just can't handle dumb girls. Just like I don't like have much time for dumb men in my life. I like very intelligent, very creative people, and the beauty of their physical appearance is usually a reflection of something. You know, I find for some reason beautiful women are often the most intelligent, wonderful people. Maybe it's the positive reinforcement that they get, but we as men, we don't get complimented very much. Uh, when's the last time someone said, "Wow, you're looking really great today," or "You know that thing you wrote? That was really amazing." I've written over 1 million words on my blog, and I get like a compliment a month, and I have to keep going. Most women I know, they can't go like an hour without a compliment. I've had women actually that I'm dating say, "I need a compliment today, Tony." Uh, that's something I would like to coach women on, is being a bit more self-reliant in their self-esteem and need for validation. But a lot of men too, I'm telling you guys, a lot of you guys are a lot more valuable and better looking than you think. That's something I learned, that I'm actually kind of hot. Women have told me I'm hot, but it's usually when we're having sex. "Oh my God, you're so sexy." I'm like, "Well, why didn't you tell me that yesterday when you were giving me 92 shit tests about how I'm not the kind of guy that you usually date?" But such is life. You have to have your own beliefs. And okay, the limited time offer. This is number 9. Number 9, the limited time offer. This is like a sales technique. Okay, just like I'm going to offer you guys phone coaching at a discounted rate if you message me today with the email I'm going to type in right now. My phone coaching is $100 an hour. And it's very powerful stuff. I'm gifted at this. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm a Pisces. That's my sign. Or because I've been doing it over a decade, but I can help guys really fast if they work with me. So my phone coaching is $100 an hour. I'm giving whoever gives the best question today a free half hour of phone coaching, but only if you give me the best question today. And if anyone wants a full phone coaching package, which is $500 for 5 hours, I'm selling 5 hours for $300 Canadian today. Okay, so that's only for today. So that's a limited time offer. There's my email. Anyway, now with a girl, you can also make a limited time offer. When I was in Asia just a few months ago, I met this beautiful girl from India. Man, she was really, really foxy, 30 years old, and just curvy and big lips and really fun energy. Just a real feminine, enthusiastic girl with lots of energy. And I knew I wanted her right away. I wanted to spend time with her. I wanted to share energy with her, and I wanted to put my penis inside of her. So I said, do you want to go for a walk? I know the neighborhood really well. I've been to Bangkok so many times. Oh, there's this great restaurant. So what I'm doing is I'm giving her the value of my knowledge. Oh, that's an offer she can't refuse, right? It makes it easier for her to come along with me. And it's just down the street, this amazing restaurant. So we go to the restaurant, we start eating. I order a couple drinks. We're having some drinks, and I'm telling her about all the nightlife. Oh, there's all these great bars. There's these really interesting snake shows going on. There's all this kinds of stuff. And then I start to do a little bit of a takeaway, a little bit of a push pull. But I don't know if you're really that adventurous. I mean, you probably have to get up early, and you don't really want to have fun that badly. And she goes, well, no, I have a lot of time actually, and I am adventurous. So she starts qualifying herself to me. I'm not really sure, but I'm like, yeah, I guess we can hang out, right? Inside of this time we're together, I'm using a deep rapport. I'm asking her about her deep feelings about things. I'm relating to that, honestly, without being a weak guy, but mixing in some teases and some push pull. But I'm getting to know her well, letting her get to know me, and that's a whole nother course, by the way. Deep rapport. That's a 4-hour course. Social proof. I'm showing her my Instagram. I have like 1,300 Instagram followers. I play guitar. I write books. I write poetry. I'm showing her this stuff. So what else am I doing? Open loops, right? Did I use open loops in this? Yeah. Well, the open loop in a way it's like just giving her some value and not giving her everything. Just saying, but you wouldn't be interested in that. I'll tell you later. It's pretty simple to pull off, but it does make people more intrigued and more willing to text you back. This was the same night lay. Love making. Sorry if she's watching. She probably is. Most of the girls that I've slept with know what I do, and they read my blog and stuff and watch my videos. So I love you all. Yeah. And I did some future projection about, we're going out to the bar. So, the limited time offer. This is the thing is she had to go to a new town the next day. And she was like, well, I have to go to, this resort tomorrow, so I'm not going to stay out late and party. I said, yeah, that's cool. No resistance to that. I'm not going to oversell myself. But during our time together over dinner and then going out again a little earlier in the night, I built up enough value and enough fun in her eyes, especially by opening other girls and creating a little bit of a feeding frenzy. I made her, showed her that I got game, that I got options. Women find me attractive, especially because I'm with this beautiful girl. Other women are looking at me. So I'm flirting with the waitress a little bit subtly, flirting with this girl over here subtly. On Khao San Road in Bangkok, by the way, guys. If you go to Khao San, this is like an amazing place to go have some fun and meet a lot of beautiful women in a place. It's kind of like a little mini Las Vegas without the gambling. It's also a gong show and very debaucherous. I don't really want to spend a lot of time there. But yeah, anyway, so then I say, you know what? I'd like to go to this resort with you. And she was like thinking, that's great. It's a great idea. Actually, I would like to travel with you too. And as the night progressed, it dawned on her, and it was my mistake, that my flight was actually leaving the next evening and I couldn't make it to go on this trip with her. And all of a sudden, it's a limited time offer. We talked about sex, and that's the final point. Number 10 is sex talk. We had talked about, unless I missed something. No, that's it, number 10. So all of a sudden, we don't have time to be together anymore. And we're having such a great time, and we're connecting on such a good level. And we'd already started making out at this point. I'd gone through a bit of resistance, but we had enough fun and connection that we started kissing. And I was going around to hotel rooms with her, and I said, let's play this game. Did you know that every hotel room, you can just walk into them and go straight into the penthouse? And inside these penthouses, you can pretend like you're going to rent it, but we just hang out there for like 20 minutes and leave. And she was like, wow, cool, let's do it. And so we were going to these different hotel rooms and just saying, can I see the room? And going up to these luxurious rooms. And I knew as soon as I walked into this room, I was like, I could probably sleep with this girl right now before the people that own the hotel even find out. And later on, I asked her, and she was thinking the same thing. Hey, Alex, yeah, I'm going to save the video. No, I'm going to repost it for sure. So she was thinking the same thing when we talked about this later. But all of a sudden, I realized my flight was a day earlier than I thought. And I said, oh, this really sucks, because I really wanted to travel with you to this island, and now I can't. And you have to leave, and I really feel like we're great together. And, well, that's too bad. I guess it's not going to happen. It's like the biggest takeaway, and it wasn't even a tactic. It was real. And that's what made it so much more powerful. It was like being in a movie. It was really strange to be in this foreign country and to meet someone you connect with so strongly on a sexual level, on an intellectual level, on an energy level, and then to realize you're going to be separated for probably ever after this. But there's also another thing that's in her mind, is that sex, because this is the most powerful way to get the woman thinking about you in the way you want her to, if you're attracted to her, which is to think of you as a lover, to imagine having sex. And it was really easy. All you got to do is ask a question like, what's the craziest place you ever had sex? And a lot of women love talking about sex. They love talking about sex. I've never met a girl who doesn't. Maybe I'm just hanging out promiscuous women, but she started saying, well, I had sex not very many times in crazy places. And I haven't had sex with a lot of guys. She doesn't want to seem like too easy or a slut. And she said, but once I had sex with this guy on the beach. Have you ever had sex on the beach? And I'm like, oh yeah. And I told the story about how I got sand on my pecker, and it was very uncomfortable and difficult and awkward. And it was a funny story. We related to that. But if you got the woman talking about sex and thinking about sex, and you're talking to her about it one-on-one, and you're adding a little keno and some push-pulls and teases and all this stuff together, she's going to start thinking about having sex with you. which is enjoyable. Like, think of yourself at night laying in bed and you use your imagination after a day of flirting with a girl at work or something, and you rub one out. Everybody does it. It's totally fine to say you masturbate. Just stay away from the porn as much as you can. Use your imagination. It's much more erotic and fun, in my opinion. Anyway, so she's thinking about sex and all night talking about sex. And then once that topic got on, it just kept going. More sex talk, more sex talk. And as I'm taking her around to all these hotel rooms, I'm actually shopping for the room that I'm going to sleep with her in. That was my plan. You know why? Because I asked her. This is a little hack too. If you want to know how to seduce a girl, ask her how her last boyfriend seduced her, or the last guy she hooked up with. So she told me. She said, well, he was very confident. He was very good at leading me. And he just said, I'm going to rent a room and you're going to come with me. Check this out, this hotel. Let's go look at it. And he rented a room. So that's what I did. At the end of the night, she's like, well, it's getting kind of late. And I said, you're not going home. You're coming with me. We're going to go rent a room because I'm not ready to end this night, but at least we can get some rest together. We can be together. We can't be together in the hostel. And I'm never going to see you again, maybe. And that makes me kind of sad. We should spend some more time together. And she was like, okay. Right? So I went, rented a room. It took like 20 freaking minutes. Well, this woman was so slow. And I keep looking back at the girl and she's like patiently waiting for me. It's like 4 a.m. in Bangkok. The crows are cawing and there's roosters, not crows, roosters. There's roosters in Bangkok and you hear them going off and the sunlight's just kind of coming up a little bit. And I rented a room and we had glorious pounding sweaty sex for on and off 2 or 3 times that night. It was pretty funny because we were having sex in this room and some neighbor came and sat in front of our room with one of these little frogs, and you can take like a stick and it has a rib on the back and it goes ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. He's sitting outside our hotel room doing this to tell us to shut the fuck up. And we were laughing, we're naked, and I had her bent up on the door and I was banging her doggy style, and we're putting on a show for the neighbors. And it was really sad the next day because she had to go and I had to go, and we're still in touch. We still talk and stuff like that. But she's really, I think, in love with me. That's the power of all of this stuff, is that you might just be trying to get a girl to text you back, and you might want to go over this whole list and this whole video again to figure out, what's going to work for you in your situation. But there's so many ways you can put this all together to become the most seductive guy, the most awesome guy that she might not even have been into, but you used your magic to get her to just think about you. And the easiest way to have a woman thinking about you all the time is to sleep with her. There's a lot of criticism about pickup, like, oh, it goes so fast and you're just playing a numbers game and you're just trying to sleep with a girl as fast as you can. Yeah, because as soon as you sleep with her, she's going to backwards rationalize why she loves you or why she's attracted to you. This is why a lot of young women, especially when I'm traveling backpacking, they don't want to have sex more than once, because they know they're going to get very attached to me and they're going to feel sad, and they don't want to become vulnerable. So they'll sleep with you once and then they disappear. And this has happened to me dozens of times with women I was so into. Now that I'm a lot better at what I do, I know how to get inside their mind and give them more value so that after they sleep with me, they really have to make that choice. Do I actually really like this guy? Even though he's kind of a weird pickup coach, poet guy. But yeah, with all these things together, you're going to have her sitting in bed at night with the little finger play or something. I don't know. All right. So guys, if you have any questions, now is the time. I've got one question here from Alex. Is screening girls and found Alex Durden, is screening girls and found out that you are not attractive to them, would you still continue the conversation? Okay, so I think what you're trying to say is if you're trying to qualify, run game on a girl, and then you find out that they're not really into you, I just don't waste time with them. You know what? You did your best, but you got to have like a more of a harder work ethic and bring more leads into your life, because pickup is sales. It's really about skill, yeah, but you can be the best salesman in the world. If you don't have any leads, you're not going to make any sales. You're not going to close. So if one client's like, I don't like your product, you're not going to sit there and try to convince them, because then you're qualifying yourself. You want to have a abundance mentality, another pickup cliche. But this is not just with girls, this is with everything, especially if you want to be a great salesman. And I am a very great salesman. So when someone doesn't want my product, I don't tell them why they're wrong. I don't have to show them another video. Look at me doing game. I'm the greatest coach in the world. I just say, I understand. Come back if you change your mind. Because the best way to get a girl who's not interested in you is to get another girl who is a better one. And once you do that, and that girl knows that you have an attractive girl in your life, she's going to want you. Or you get some social proof. You get some value. Like when I was in the newspaper, I was on the front page of my city's newspaper for my job and for my books. And all of the sudden, my social media blew up with all these girls that I had hit on or tried to get dates with, and they had kind of ignored me, rejected me, which is fine. But all of a sudden now they want to talk. Now they're interested because I'm a guy with a social status or something. Or they see me out at a park and I'm with a beautiful girl, and all of a sudden they're thinking, well, he hot women like him. What's different about him? And that's actually how they think. They're actually like, hot women like him. Maybe I screwed up. Maybe he's actually really cool, or he has something about him. So the best thing you can do is meet more women. Yeah. But you can get that girl back to become interested in you again. But usually it involves some kind of milestone in your life. Like, and you're seen hosting the party instead of just being the guy coming in at the last minute and standing in the corner. You're the host of the party, right? Now you've got really something going, and she's going to see that. And it's easy to kind of hate on women for that, to be like, oh, she only likes me because I'm in a band, or I got money now, or I'm dating hot girls, or I got a cool car, or now I have game. But that's just their nature. It's like hating a frog for hopping or something. So it's like women in the media when they hate on men for wanting to learn pickup. Like pickup, I think pickup sort of sounds like something you pick up and put down, but you can also pick something up and keep it close to your heart if you want. You can put it in your pocket. You can hang it on your wall. So, and most guys, we don't have this abundance in the market of women coming to us. We're not rock stars. We're just regular guys. We have probably a lot of talents. I bet you every one of you guys has amazing talents and skills and knowledge and social networks or something that women can find valuable. But doesn't it kind of bother you that they never ask? Like, what is your secret special talent? They don't care, because in the market, they're the seller, right? So you have to find a way to demonstrate your value, whether that's through talking. Like, I'm pretty good at talking. I'm getting better all the time. I'm pretty good at guitar. I'm pretty good at writing. Actually, I think I'm great at writing. And actually, guys, just a little bit of news. I'm working out a deal with one of the biggest pickup websites on the internet. It's a dating and self-improvement website. So I'll get back to you guys on that, because I'm really hustling to improve my business right now and make it really professional and kick ass. So yeah. And Alex, I think you've won that 30-minute coaching call, and I could probably help you out a little bit better if you just email me and say you want to collect that coaching call. So last chance for question, guys, and then I'm going to go to the beach because it's still sunny and beautiful outside. No, that's it. Okay, guys, thanks a lot. Like I said, phone coaching for you guys only. I see your names. If you want $200 off phone coaching, then contact me. Okay, here's another question. Do I see a sense of scarcity now that Tinder or online dating is blowing off? No, not at all. I don't see a sense of scarcity, but because I want to think positively about it. I don't do the online dating in Canada. I do the online dating when I go to foreign countries where my value is higher, because I don't like to work hard and I hate being rejected. So everybody hates being rejected. But when I'm doing online dating, I feel like I'm a slug or something because I'm not 6'4". They look at your height. Oh, next. Whereas in another country, they're like, well, he's from Canada. Maybe he has something valuable to offer me, knowledge, money. I don't know. I don't care, but it just gets my foot in the door. Here, it's too difficult for me to do online. I think it's a limiting belief too. Honestly, if I really got amazing pictures done and I got